Hey Steel Shooters, your guy Carlos with a K, back with the next episode of Mind in the Box. This is a match highlight and review of the Mississippi State Steel Challenge Championship sponsored by Taccom. Now this match took place at the Coast Rifle and Pistol Range. Now this place is about 30 minutes from the beach, so shoot in the morning and hit the beach with the family in the afternoon, totally possible. It's one of my favorite things about going to a bigger match and a new range is to see what challenges they bring. There's always something just a little bit different when you visit a new spot. The different backgrounds mix up the appearance of the stages you're used to seeing. Sometimes there's shadows on the range if there's a lot of big trees. So at this match, I probably had the most people ever come up and say that they watched the channel. It was great to put some names to some faces I've seen on the channel and new ones that I just met. So Larry, Chris, Greg, I remember you. Thanks again for mentioning the channel and saying hello. Carlos with a K here at the Mississippi State Steel Challenge Championship sponsored by Taccom. Shout out to all the people that always support me. My buddy Sean, Mark, Deb, Ken. I really enjoy sharing my learnings of getting better in this sport with you. I hope you enjoy them too. I'm always trying something new. We're gonna be mixing it up. We're gonna be getting better. We're gonna be getting faster. And so welcome to the channel. Looking forward to sharing you some highlights from the Mississippi State Steel Challenge Championship. It's Carlos with a K, out. Let's talk about the stars of the range, the Steel Challenge stages. I drove in a day early to get a chance to get close to the bays, the stage setups, and the background of the boxes. And sometimes even some footage of me trying out the stages. So depending on the time of day you shoot a stage, the look can be different. Showdown in the afternoon, all white targets were extra bright. In the morning, the stage was in the shadows of filtered light through the trees. This totally caused issues for a few folks. The bright targets, sometimes being so bright they washed out the dots. Then having other target in the shadows caused your eyes to see differently. I chose to start on 5 to go for both my morning and afternoon shooting sessions. I like the idea of starting on stage 1 and then going all the way through the stages in order. Here's a few things to note about each one, like 5 to go. The plywood behind the plates. While you were shooting this, if you ever lost your horizontal line, the eyes had a lot more information to process to find the targets with the plywood wall behind. Plus, the joint lines seem to be right through the bottom of the targets. Really like the Make Ready shooter tables. So give a shout out to Make Ready shooter tables. These really have all the bells and whistles, a place to store your mags, a place where your bag goes, a little bit of wind resistance so it can't fall off the edge, and of course some nice holders for your steel target paint. So thanks to Hunter's Gold, the sponsor of 5 to go at the Taccom Mississippi State Steel Challenge Championship. Headed down to Showdown to get some front row picks. In this stage you have to shoot 3 from one box, 2 from the other box. You do not move, just 3 complete strings. So stepping into the box for Showdown. Now Showdown was fine, except there were no berms. There were white bags on the ground, which I wasn't sure what they were for. And this one had major shadows or bright light. Stepping into the box for speed option. And if you notice, this box is squared, not with the bay, because here's the wall, but it's squared this way. So thanks to Ruger for sponsoring speed option at the Taccom Mississippi State Steel Challenge Championship at the Coast Rifle and Pistol Club. For speed option, the positioning of the box at a 45-degree angle could be an issue, but overall this stage turned out well. The targets appeared at normal height, normal distances. Next up was Roundabout. This one was in a tight space and also had a mix of super bright and shadowed targets. Sponsored by both Quartz and Firearms. Boy, these look high to me, but
We're gonna make it work.
This is sponsored by Stripling Gunworks, the Pendulum, the timer, the type of boxes they use. It looks like we'll be shooting in sand. Sunny most of the time, but the rear sticks were at least 7 feet tall as the ground sloped down. So this obstacle illusion threw some people into doubt, which cost them time during the match. Thanks to Steel Target Paint, one of the match sponsors at the Taccom Mississippi State Steel Challenge Championship. Smoke and Hope, in the very corner of the range, near the check-in stand, near the Hunter's Gold booth, there was a lot going on near Smoke and Hope. So on day one, there were 6 people on my squad. 2 of them, a husband and wife duo, are running a little late. So right here we got Tom, Ron, Darren, and myself, Carlos, getting ready to start on 5 to go. So headed to the line with 5 to go with PCC. I shot PCCO on day 1 and I shot pistol on day 1, and that's the only day I recorded. So just so you know, you're only getting the day 1 shooting excitement. Now day 1 I was a bit rusty. I hadn't practiced since Arizona, and I was trying to incorporate Arizona ideas into my first tier 2 match since practicing them.
Are you ready? Stand by.
All right, shaky first string, but first stage, first string.
Are you ready? Stand by. How you guys doing?
No comment.
7-6. Bye.
That's more like it.
2-6. Bye.
Now notice I'm fiddling with the grip, changing it around. And that's one thing I worked on in Arizona, was tightening up my grip, but I didn't practice it much with my PCC, and I was struggling to get used to it.
Brutal first
Darren
stage.
shot right before me each stage, and he had a solid run on Pendulum, so I thought I'd leave it in for your enjoyment. We don't get a lot of left-handed shooters on the channel. Because of Darren's great time, I knew I wanted to do well. Not much to say on this run, pretty solid.
Are you ready? Yeah. Stand by.
Overall, that ended up being a 9:03 total time, so totally happy with that on Pendulum. Now we got Ron Wood coming up to the line. Ron was after me all day. Darren just finished shooting, and I'm headed to the box to shoot PCC on Roundabout. Now those 2 gentlemen in blue are the Boy Scouts at the event, who the reason for the match is that most of the proceeds helped the Boy Scouts who were headed to Washington, so we were shooting for a great cause here in Mississippi. Now Ron decided he wasn't getting enough camera time, and so we're going to watch Ron for a bit, but we're going to focus in on this little blue square that's going to appear on the stop plate.
Stand by. Stand by.
So one thing I do is tell people to hold the line while you're shooting this stage. We put a direct line across that bad boy. I always think it's great to have a really supportive squad, and so I left this part in right here so you can see the comments my squad mates gave me. So I'm walking up to the line for Showdown. He definitely was hanging out in the shade. It was super hot standing out in the sun. This is one of those stages where I haven't really changed much to my shooting game except for keeping the elbow tight and bringing the arm closer in. I had a miss on that last string, so I had to take the one, which was a 267, which kind of messed up my time here. The long walk back to the camera after that one. Here's a few more shots of Ron so he can get his camera time. Had to make sure the camera was on and headed into the box for Smoke and Hope with PCCO. Now one thing to note is a lot of the ROs at this match are husband and wife duos. So thanks Gary and Barbara, in case you ever watch this, for being such amazing folks. So right here I'm going to get set up in the back of the box. That's where I like to be for this stage. I feel really comfortable. And again, going with that a little bit tighter grip, hand further in. You just saw me adjust it right there.
Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by.
Sometimes that happens. But overall, solid stage on Smoke and Hope. Again, haven't changed anything except for the grip, tightening it up on any of the divisions. So taking the long walk to speed option with PCCO. Now this was actually the third stage of the day and the stage where things finally started to click together. Now this is just a zoomed in view, so I apologize for the graininess of the content. All right, that's a solid start. A sub 9-second run is what I'm looking for, so that's pretty much close to on par. Both those extra shots cost me. Oh, but that helped out a bit. So the last stage of both days was Accelerator. Now I didn't get the Accelerator video for PCCO, but what I did get it for is RFPO, so we're going to jump to that division and watch a few from the rimfire pistol open division on Accelerator. Now with pistol, I was in that tighter stance, and you can see me shifting around my feet. I'm moving the right leg back as I kind of square up towards the Accelerator stage.
Are you ready? Stand by.
I just needed one more to complete the run to have a nice 8-second GM run there for pistol. It was still GM. I told her I'd been practicing a little bit. So stepping into the box for Roundabout. Again, shout out to our Boy Scouts who are headed out to paint. And this time I'm stepping into the box with RFPO.
Doing great. How you guys doing? We're good.
Always good to introduce yourself to your ROs. Build a rapport. It kind of, makes you feel more comfortable while you're in the box. So get my little chatty in. So still with the same foot stance that I use for Showdown. Basically, left foot, center of the box, right foot, right center of the box, and both feet on the box. I just like that position.
I've had meltdowns. Things are. Oh, here, I'll go get a Gatorade.
Are you ready? Stand by.
One down the mat. Yeah, okay.
Both a little slow off the go.
People get mad at us when we don't match.
Where are we on that?
Crap. We
Are
don't.
you ready?
Okay.
Stand by.
That's our last one today. What's that? That's pretty good timing. That's good. So who's somebody else name? Grant. Oh shit, it's nice to meet you. 2-3. Yeah,
Solid run for pistol on Roundabout. Headed to the box for Showdown. It's day 1 in the afternoon, and you can notice one of the targets is in the shade at the back right. The rest of them are bright in the sun.
Are you ready?
And of course, after 3, you gotta move. I had a miss on that one. And you could tell I just kind of took it easy and made sure I hit all the targets. So it took a little bit more time, but overall a solid run with RFPO. Here's a quick shot of my man Ron. A shot of Darren with PCC. And next we're moving back to Smoke and Hope with Rimfire Pistol Open Division. And for this match, I'm definitely going to have to see how many times Ron appeared in the videos. I think he was in videos more than me. As we're getting ready, I'm going to get set up in the back of the box. I really work on my grip for pistol, like making sure I have it consistent the same way each time.
Are you ready? Stand by.
It's always rough to start with a high time on your first string on a fast stage.
178. Stand by.
Those were two good back to back. I just need two more.
Bye. 7-8. Range is clear. Paint them up. Thank you, brother.
And the final stage for review is rimfire pistol open division on speed option. Still working through a couple issues with this stage and consistency with pistol. Today was no different, so let's watch. So that's all the video I have of shooting. So on day 2, I grabbed a quick clip with a GoPro through the Hunter's Gold lenses on what the stage looks like. So you can see how the targets stand out against the background. Because the lenses are red, I also don't have to turn up my dot very bright at all to see it. I really had a good time shooting with my buddy Ron. I've shot over 20 matches with Ron, and it's always a pleasure. We actually shot together during my first ever Tier 2 match. And we've shot together in Colorado, Arizona, Mississippi, and of course, we shoot together all the time here in Texas.
Carlos with a K just wrapped up the Mississippi State Steel Challenge Championship. Fantastic event. Enjoyed shooting here. So waiting for the scores and then the award ceremony.
All right, Coach. First of all, thank you all for coming out. I hope our runs did good.
So while the awards were going on, guess who won the award for the fastest adult overall? Not me, because I got second place. But was still super excited. I mean, if you look at the smile. So taking home the award for adult category, 18 to 54, I took second place overall. So really excited to walk away with an award from this event. I didn't expect to, and so that was definitely a pleasant surprise. I was sure all smiles. So with a background of speed option, let's really quickly break down the times for rimfire pistol open division. The stages are listed in the order we shot them, the times for each of the stages, the raw strings for each of the different runs. The part that I want to focus on here is for my division in pistol. For the place, 6 out of 66, but it'll also compare how I shot each of the stages compared to the other shooters that shot pistol, as well as everyone in the entire match. So I like the combined area where I can see that for Accelerator, my 892 was 20th overall out of 323 guns at the match. I think that was a pretty good time for me, and it was a pretty good time overall at the match. Now with Roundabout in the background, let's look at PCCO. I had a bit better match with this one. In PCCO, I came in top 5 overall with a 62 total time, 5th out of 52 shooters. If you notice the middle of the block here, I was third out of 52 for those middle stages, and then 10th, 19th, and 12th. And so I know that I had a bad start and then a bad finish, but I was solid in the middle stages, and it felt that way in the match. As well as you could see the overall times of 14, 17, 15, and 11th. Out of all the shooters, you know, I had really solid times, and the other times, honestly, this map shows I was just nervous at the start and nervous at the finish, and mentally, I wasn't solid in my game like I was in the middle. Now on day 2, I shot rimfire rifle iron sights. With rimfire rifle irons, RFRI, I came in 4th out of 30. I had some solid times, you know, consistently almost in the top 10 on every stage except for 5 to go we started, another nervous start, and overall some solid times out of the entire match, almost finishing all my times in the top 50. Now my fastest division of the match was RFRO at a sub 60 second 59.24 for the 7-stage match. Overall, in my division, except for Showdown and Accelerator, I was almost in the top 5 shooters on every stage. So a solid performance here. Overall, this one netted me 16th place out of the 323 shooters, and this is where I took home the 2nd place overall award. There were definitely some areas where I could have pushed speed more. I already know you gotta go fast to get fast. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mind in the Box. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.